Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Tigers.
It's a big day today. We've got two guests in the studio ready to make a big reveal in our first news package from first-year SRL staffers.
But first, a few announcements.
If you're interested in travel and want to experience another culture as a high school student, the Rotary has an exchange program you'll want to know more about.
Rotary is accepting applications for outbound exchange students, but the first interviews happen this weekend. If you're interested, complete the preliminary application now.
If you're looking for a summer-only experience, there's also a short-term program.
Check your email for the details.
If you're a music student, get your money in for the Wreath fundraiser.
The order forms and payments are due tomorrow. Turn them in to Mr. S. or Mrs. Nugel.
Speaking of Mr. Schluntz, he's in the studio with Miss Lang to talk about spring musical.
Wyatt, we're sending this to you.
Hey guys, I'm here with two pretty special people. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Miss Lang. I am the secretary in the guidance department here.
I'm Mr. Schluntz. I'm the choir director here.
All right, so there have been some staffing changes this year. So what are each of your roles for production?
So I am going to be taking over basically most of the musical side of things, so music directing, and choreographing the show this year.
I will be taking over as technical director, getting in charge of lights, finding people to run sound, backstage stuff.
What are a couple opportunities available for students this year?
There's the obvious, being in the show, but then with the change this year, I feel like it's really important to involve as many students as possible. So we really hope that we can get help building the set, painting the set, costuming, backstage crew, lights, sound. There's so many opportunities, so if you have an interest, we probably have a place for you.
All right, so what will the rehearsal schedules look like?
I'm going to base that off of the kids who audition for the show, so I will look at their commitments and then try to work around it to use as many kids as we can and make it a friendly experience where they don't feel like it's a burden to be there and use their time as effectively as possible.
Okay, so we have been waiting long enough. Would you guys like to introduce this year's musical theme?
After you.
Beauty and the Beast.
Awesome. So when will the auditions be?
They will be December 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during lunch.
And how can the students get involved in this?
We will send more information out when the time comes. I know I've been sending out a lot of emails lately, but they will get musical related then, and we'll have a sign up, and they can come audition. If they have other questions, I would direct them.
Yep, pretty much for technical side of things, you do not have to be immediately I don't expect you to sing, to run lights. So, but that'll be more information probably come pretty close to the beginning of February as we get ready for the performance.
Yeah, the show will be March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so right at the end of term 2.
Awesome. So anything else before we send it back?
We really hope that a lot of kids audition this year. It's going to be, I think, a really fun show. We have a lot of great ideas for taking some of the cast into the community, to the elementary schools in the area, to really promote it and do a lot of community engagement. So outside of just the show, it will also be a lot of fun, and I hope kids just want to do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Awesome. Back to you guys.
Exciting news! I hear that the musical is something everyone should try at least once, whether you're on stage or working in the crew.
We're going to wrap up with an important story from our SRL staff.
Those of us who are on Paw Print Live are all either taking or have taken Written 1 SRL/news.
Our first big project in that class is always a news package. We contact and interview sources, shoot a lot of B-roll, and then edit everything in the media lab.
Almost always, it's pretty fulfilling to see the final cut.
This one is no exception, especially because it's about an issue that's important to me and to all of us, I hope.
School safety.
The thought of a school shooting affects my mental health because it makes me over worry because I come to school every day knowing that today could be the day. I feel scared when we practice the school shooting drills because even though we're practicing now, there's that chance that it could happen.
At Black River Falls High School, the administration is taking action to help make the students feel less anxiety when they do school intruder drills.
So how I feel about our school safety precautions for active threats, active shooters, is how I feel about the school safety precautions for every district that I work with. It's a work in progress that we're always trying to update and improve and find areas where we need to fix things, because you're never going to have anything perfect.
We certainly have some concerns that we need to continue to address, and one of those would be our access to the building throughout the school day is a little bit concerning. Like when I say access, I mean different points of access. So we have students who are coming into the building from other places besides the main entrance.
Bypassing the security measures in place at the main office endangers staff and students.
I talk to my kids about safety and talk a lot about being aware of what's going on around you. Like, pay attention to what's happening. Make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Make sure that we're watching out for others. Make sure that if we're concerned about someone, or if we're concerned about something going on, that we bring that to someone's attention, that we talk about it.
Students do have a part in keeping themselves safe at school, but law enforcement has a huge part also.
So law enforcement in our community has helped to make the schools more safe through a bunch of different ways. One of them is the position that I hold right now, which is the school resource deputy position through Jackson County Sheriff's Office. That position puts a deputy in the school districts of Jackson County.
This year what it'll be is we'll say, hey, there's a dangerous intruder outside of your classroom. So then everybody practices that. Or we say there's a dangerous intruder in the opposite end of the building from where you are. Then everybody practices that skill. So we think that that will make more sense to people. Although as a school administrator, it's the thing we dislike doing maybe the most, because we don't want people feeling anxious.
Officer Nosbish and Mr. Madsen both mentioned that students have a lot to do with keeping us all safe.
One thing you can do is keep the exterior doors secure from 7:50 until 3:11. Use the main office entrance to enter the building.
Don't open doors for others, even during lunch.
And definitely don't prop open doors.
For Paw Print Live, I'm Evie.
And I'm Kaylee.
Have a great day, Tigers.